Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Market Snapshot series. My name is Rufas Kamau, Markets Analyst at FX Pesa. So as we all know, today is quite a busy day following the news from yesterday. That is the speech from Fed Chair Powell. So in the meeting, he reiterated the same information that we had in the FOMC press conference, that they will be looking to hike rates higher, but not as aggressively as we were expecting in the markets. So the markets were largely pricing in a 25 basis point hike on the next meeting and another 25 basis point on the other one, basically moving the interest rates from 4.75%, 5%, and then 5.5%. So with this expectation in the market, we saw a lot of this information was already priced in. So we happened to see the dollar starting to weaken, whereas US equities started to strengthen. So it was a quite crazy meeting, and that's not the end of the story. So today we'll be seeing more of this happening in the markets. So there will be a sequence of more speeches from Fed members. So the first meeting will be at 5:15 p.m. This is where we'll be listening to FOMC member Williams, then FOMC member Barr at 6 p.m. Then later on FOMC member Waller at 9:05 p.m. So all these speeches are bound to give us an insight of how some of these members will be voting on their next meeting based on the current economic data that is available, and the most recent one being the Friday non-farm payrolls, which came in way better than expected. So in this case, going forward, yes, we had Fed member Bostic on Monday, as well as Kashkari, basically projecting rates for above 5%, where Kashkari went 5.4%. The idea was that the Fed could get more aggressive based on positive economic data. However, Fed Chair Powell was not at all hawkish, which basically means that the entire meeting was dovish, and this led to a lot of reactions in the market. So now let's look at what happened in the markets after the speech. So one key thing to observe is the dollar index, quite volatile yesterday. So during the meeting, you can see the sharp drop, then regain, and then eventually continue dropping towards the end of the session. And today seems like a continued trend downwards, meaning that the market is processing the information as a dovish meeting. So with dovish sentiments, we're expecting that Jerome Powell will maintain the same pace and eventually stop the rate hikes, and these would eventually start weakening the dollar, whereas strengthening equities. So there is a good chance that for the rest of the day, we'll continue seeing a weakening US dollar, and at the same time, other currencies take advantage of this movement and start regaining against the dollar. So one example is Audi USD. So from the forward chart, we had this trend line here. We were discussing this yesterday. So there was a sharp drop followed by some recovery. So what we were looking at yesterday is a potential for a retest of this area and then a continuation downwards. But after the news happened, you can see there was a break towards the upper side, and now we are looking at that continuation, meaning that the market is getting back in pattern and continuing back upwards. So there is an opportunity potentially that the Audi USD could eventually move higher and get the previous high. So if you look at the US 500 or the S&P 500, very interesting chart. We were on a swing where we were expecting the market to be moving from the upper trend line towards the lower trend line. However, immediately after the speech, there was a lot of volatility here, a spike up and then back down and then up. This is basically what we call a whipsaw. Then eventually the market stagnated around here. So there is a good chance of seeing some continued growth here. So some further upside, maybe towards the upper trend line. So if you want to extrapolate these, extend the upper trend line, this is the 1 hour chart, then the S&P 500 eventually rise towards this area here. So let's look at the price level. This is around 4,248. So this is a quite good opportunity. But then the reverse, the market was to retest the support, then a level around 4,100 or below might be acting as ours. So going forward with gold, we mentioned something yesterday that we are monitoring one key flag where these sharp movement Thursday and Friday last week represented an inverted pole, and then the movements this week basically represent a flag. So from here, you can all see that there was a couple of swings. So first swing up and then down, and then up, down, for me at the basis for our flag here. Then in the last 1 hour, what we are seeing here is evidence of a break. Whenever you have a break, that it gives us a direction. So in this case, we expect gold to now start recovering against the dollar. So with this potential recovery, then a nice target, the previous goal here marked in yellow. So a price level of 1900 is in the books. So there is a good chance that going forward through the day, you might see gold continue to vary back to 1900. So on the reverse side, if it was to go back in pattern, then maintain the same range towards this level here. This is around 1864. So if it gets back to pattern, then back down the same flag here, 1864. But then if the breakout continues, then 1900 is a nice target, and perhaps 1920 if the price continues to be high. So for Euro USD, we can all see what has been happening. Very strong bullish trend, and then followed by a break. And then after yesterday in the news, we have seen this recovery start to happen in what looks like an inverted head and shoulder. This being the first shoulder, then the head, and then the other shoulder. So potentially we'll be seeing the price now moving up. So a key and interesting price level is the previous low here. That is for intraday traders. So these somehow coincides with this previous day's high. That was Monday's high. So if Euro USD continues pushing higher, then Monday's high, which was the low of last week, would be a very interesting price level to observe. This is somewhere around 1.08. 1.08 seems to be our next target for Euro USD. So Brent oil seems to be the most important one. So remember what I mentioned yesterday. You have this 1 hour chart. There was this particular channel here. And then fundamentally, there was a lot of factors that were supporting recovery in oil markets. So some of the factors we mentioned are: one, optimism about Chinese recovery, basically boosting production and demand for oil. At the same time, we saw a very strong and healthy US economy based on the data of the non-farm payrolls as well as ISM last week. So as a result of this, we expect a higher demand and higher output of oil. So this is a fundamental factor supporting the break here. So whereas the market was facing this resistance and indicating it's pushing back downwards, then we have this break happening, indicating that now we are headed even higher. So from the forward chart, you can see the sequence of candlesticks right from the bottom here, around $79 per barrel. So the market managed to vary this low this week, and it has already hit 82 and now 83.9, and potentially we'll be seeing even higher prices. So from the forward chart, if you zoom out, then you notice this sequence where the market is forming higher highs, consistently higher highs, and the lows are getting higher. And now this swing, we might be expecting the market to get to the previous high and potentially even higher. So if we zoom out further, then you know that we are still in a bearish channel on the longer term path here. So from the daily chart, if I just zoom this, we are still within this channel downwards, and the current journey is from the lower trend line towards the upper trend line here. So with this swing on the forward chart, there is a good chance that we'll be seeing some continued upside in oil prices today. So we have already tested this high, and this is the high that we last saw on the 3rd of February. So if you happen to break this, then a potential target would be this particular price here. So this high might be the next target. So just to ensure we have the right price level, this is $86 per barrel. So this could be the target for today. And also, if the market pulls back down, then we might be looking at this area here at 82.5, which was the breaking point. So that's it. Now, when you look at USDN, we are seeing what we were projecting yesterday. The market going forward to close the gap. This was the gap on Monday. And after closing the gap, some further downside. Now, from the 50-minute chart, you can see it's more or less like a second consolidation. So I wouldn't say there's much to this. So if you look at this, then from the 50-minute chart, that particular market is either going up or down. It's basically in a triangle trying to identify the next direction. So UK 100, we mentioned that it is still completely overbought. However, we are continuing to see some further upside. So from the triangle, we have happened to devise yesterday, and so we saw this happening. Then towards the end of the day, the market managed to break towards the upside, and now we are seeing a pattern continuation. So there is a good chance we'll be seeing some further upside happening with the UK 100. So from the daily chart, this is what we are seeing, continued upside. So yes, personally, I'm very biased towards the lower direction. I'm looking to short this particular asset, but as per now, follow price action, then it's clearly indicating some upwards momentum. So pound yen still moving sideways. Pound USD, similar pattern with Euro USD. So we might be seeing some recovery happening today. Sorry for that. So pound USD could continue recovering here. You can already see the weaknesses happening here. This was yesterday, a very big spike from Powell, a pullback, and then a continuation. So we have already broken yesterday's high. That was Tuesday's high. Monday's high has already been broken. So now there is a potential we might be headed for a journey towards this particular support level at 1.631. So of course, on the contrary, if the dollar was to regain its strength, then we are going back down. So target on the previous low might make sense. So previous low is somewhere around 1.1965, and also the previous support here, which acted as a resistance here, is 1.263. So as for the Dixie, sorry, not the Dixie, but the Dow Jones, what we are seeing here is a triangle that we happened to craft yesterday. So you can see the recent swings that the market has been making. So going up and down, up and down, up and down, and testing this resistance multiple times. So after Jay Powell's speech, you can see that we have a break here. And from the 1 hour chart, it seems like the market is going back to retest the area, then potentially get even higher. So we know that whenever the trend line is broken, the market may go back, retest the area, and then continue higher. So from the 4 hour chart, I assume that the market is retesting now. And now once it retests, then the short-term target will be that $4,354 per share. So we might be looking to trade this. So a retest, if there's a bounce here, then for this target here. If it doesn't happen, then go back into the channel. So that's it for today. Any questions for me? So I'll be checking on the live chat to see if there's any questions. And hello, Apollo. Hello, Susan, Jack. There was a question about pound USD. I already went through that. So as per the economic calendar, we don't have much happening today. So just to give you a brief highlight. As you can see, today is Wednesday, largely quiet. Only the FOMC speeches mean a lot. We have US crude oil inventories. So if there's a big discrepancy between these expectations of 2 million barrels, then would be seeing some volatility in oil, but that kept aside, there's nothing much happening in the markets today. So a lot of activity will be expected tomorrow from the monetary policy report hearings in the UK. So this could cause volatility in the UK pound. Unemployment claims in the US at 4:30 p.m. This could also raise some volatility. And also the most important news for the week, that is the remaining part of the week, be the Chinese CPI. This could make the markets will be very volatile. We want to track the inflation in China closely. Remember, there's a very strong run for Chinese stocks. So if CPI is rising, then that can be a problem. So UK GDP, also very important on Friday. And at the same time, there's an unemployment rate in Canada, as well as the unemployment change. So most of the remaining news for the week are pushed towards Friday, whereas Thursday and Wednesday remain quite silent. So another key point to notice is that the AI wars are on. So we have seen a lot of companies fighting to have the dominant AI in the market. So with ChatGPT, which was launched on 30th November last year, so it has largely been in operation for December and January, that is 2 months. So it managed to make over 50 million monthly active subscribers in December. And then it's estimated that in January, it hit 100 million monthly active subscribers. So this was a red flag for Google, because a lot of its revenue comes from the search engine. So in this case, Google is also looking to launch its own AI products as well as the Chinese company Baidu. So following the AI race war, we are already seeing some good growth in AI stocks. So if you look at the stocks performance since the beginning of the year, then you would notice that Google is doing quite well. So having risen, this is 20.78% since the beginning of the year. This is the performance. Some stocks barely get 20% in a year. So Microsoft is up 11.68%, also a good performance, whereas the best of the three being Baidu, which is up 38.15%. So you should know that Chinese stocks are currently on a very strong rally, which is outperforming the US stocks. So it's something that is currently worth considering. So that's it for today. If you look at what's happening in Syria as well as Turkey, there's the earthquake that happened on Monday. The death toll continues to rise. I think currently 7,500 from the last data I read from Reuters. So it's a bad scenario for them. So we'll be looking at further developments in the same. The Adani group of shares, Adani group of companies, we are seeing the stocks start to recover in India. So we might be following up on the same. And hopefully on tomorrow's session, remember it's 11 a.m., then we'll begin to share even more content on the same. So thank you very much, guys. I hope to see you on the next session.